going to go ahead and jump into our next series. This is also going to be from the Winners Bracket Round 2. It is going to be... I almost just introduced the players. I was like, I may as well wait till we're in game. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of Akalon Waste, Sleeper Cells. Coming in from the Heartland Esports Association. I can't remember exactly where he's from. It's somewhere down in the
somewhere.
South. Yeah, he's from somewhere. Here and there. Funny things are everywhere. Doctor Suits for you. It is going to be VaderSeven as our red Terran on the bottom right-hand side in that 5 o'clock position. Co-casting with me, it's going to be Sleeper Cells here. Who's our next guy?
Well, he's going to be spawning up in the upper left-hand corner of this map. It is going to be the first Protoss player we're going to see so far in this tournament from Team Impulse. It is going to be Pure as the blue Protoss.
He is going to be up in that 10, 11, 10, 30, 10, 15, I don't know. He's up in that top left-hand corner there. And I love PvT. I also love TVZ and TVT. And I just love StarCraft, Sleeper. I'm going to be honest here. But PvT especially is such a fun matchup. There's just a little bit of everything right now. Protosses really have their books opened up. The only thing that really is kind of limited in PvT, on the Protoss side of things at least, is going to be that Stargate play. You can open up with maybe like a proxy Oracle, do a little bit of damage like that, but for the most part, you kind of want to stay away from that, just Vikings, Marines, pretty much, just slaughter any sort of Void Ray composition. So, other than that, though, I mean, you have the Charizard Archon style, you have the Colossus style, and, well, one thing that Protoss players have had a little bit of trouble with in the past, maybe not so much so now that we have that patch out, was that Marauder the Marauder Hellbat composition that kind of forced a shift in the Protoss metagame because it was just destroying the 1030 double Colossus into Templar. I mean, it was just ripping it to shreds. So I'm curious to see what Pure's going to go for with this newer metagame for the Protoss.
Yeah, it's always so hard for players in a tournament setting like this when you see a patch go live a couple days beforehand. You don't necessarily have time to get all that practice in. You don't have time to set up and get ready to get your build set up to make use of this new patch, the new things. We did see Aegis in the last series. He was able to sort of adapt to that in the sense that he went ahead and did a double medevac Hellbat drop as opposed to the single Hellbat drop, which has been pretty popular up until this point. We do see the probe from Pure going to go ahead and scout and see that it is indeed a CC on the low ground. I believe that was CC first as well. It is indeed CC first.
Yes, it was indeed CC first there. 2 racks are going to be following that up, pretty standard there. And I'm curious to see whether Pure expands off of 1 gateway or 2 gateway. It looks like it's just going to be a 1 gate expand. On maps like Akalon Waste, I sometimes prefer maybe an extra gateway there. And the Akalon Waste is not exactly a massive map. The rush distance isn't that far away, I mean, and it's only a 2-player spawn, so you always know where your opponent is. So I personally prefer going for the extra gateway just for a little added security. But I suppose when you get up to these higher levels of play, it doesn't matter all that much. And oh my goodness, this one probe almost killing off the SCV. And denying the what was that, a bunker, a supply depot? That's just infuriating. I hate it when Protoss players will like dance a probe around where I'm trying to put my cyber core down. It's just like, just get out of the way. And that must be how you feel like when you have a probe next to somebody's hatchery. I suddenly feel bad for doing that.
Not that bad, though.
Not that bad. Not bad enough to stop.
Yeah,
Over in Pure Space, he is going to be taking that second gas. The Nexus is now down. That's going to be a little bit behind by a little bit, I mean quite a bit behind the orbital command of VaderSeven. So VaderSeven going to take a slightly early eco lead. Not a big deal, though. We do have double forts going down before anything else from Pure. And I guess he knows that his opponent is going to be going for a very, very macro-heavy build just because of that CC first. So why not respond with double forts? Get the upgrade advantage. You know we're going to be a little bit behind in the economy. Find where you can take that advantage.
Yeah, we also see the probe on the low ground here, down from that bunker. It is going to go ahead and scout so that he knows when his opponent moves out from the front, which is pretty much the only danger after the CC first is a really heavy Marine follow-up, which in this situation, VaderSeven kind of doing. He's got about 3 barracks on the field right now, excuse me. Gonna go ahead and pump out a decent number of Marines, probably do a little bit of a push, and we're gonna see whether or not Pure is gonna be able to muster up enough forces with this double forge to deal with it.
We do have these 2 additional gateways going down now. Warp Gate just about to finish up here. It looks like Pure for the moment actually cutting his Warp Gate production. He's just pretty much trying to get as many production facilities on the ground as possible. Mothership Core pretty late coming out of Pure here. A lot of players opting to get that a little bit sooner just to get that energy building up there so they can get the Photon Overcharge down on the Nexus should some sort of timing attack come in. Again, though, Pure feeling pretty safe here. That 1 probe on the low ground is going to get taken out. Not really that many Marines on the field right now. In fact, just still sticking with just 2. And there we go, finally getting the 3rd racks going. Just now starting stim pack research. So Pure really is just fine going for this very fast double upgrade build here. That Twilight Council should be coming down fairly shortly as well, so that we can get the 2-2 upgrades for Pure.
Yeah, we do see he has now moved up to 3 gateways, just now starting to transform into those warp gates. So he is now going to be able to move and start production, start getting some units out, start getting some stuff to defend against that Marine push that will more than likely be coming very, very shortly here. A couple idle SCVs here by the supply depots. Always want to rally those guys back to your mineral lines once they're done completing their supply depot.
That forward pylon going down now for Pure, but I really don't see him doing all that much damage with what he has on the field right now.
Counterattack pylon.
I would agree with that. I was going to say, even with the 3 sentries to force field around this bunker to try to keep the SCVs off, there really just isn't enough DPS potential even on the field, just due to the fact that we only have 3 gateways. 1 more getting added on there, a couple of forges just about to finish up their upgrades.
A lot of gateways.
Council, whoa, that's actually a lot. Is this going to be a big 1-1 push, Sleeper? That's kind of what I'm seeing here almost.
Yeah.
Or 2-2 maybe. I think it's going to be a 2-2 push.
Yeah, it'll more than likely be more of a gateway-centric style. Not going to go for any of that robo stuff. I know you particularly have been talking and allowing actually that particular style. You love the heavy gateway stuff. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we saw it get really popular at the most recent DreamHack when Stardust took that victory. Just pretty much did heavy gateway builds in all of the matchups. And what you do, you really just use a lot of the gas on upgrades and sentries rather than going for your Colossus and you know, your what is the other one? Templar Tech. Goodness, I completely forgot my own race
Colossus?
there. And it's good in that right, but once you kind of start moving into that late game, you need to transition to something a little bit more potent. For a big mid-game push, though, it can be pretty good. And against this many Marines without medevac support, it could really go either way, but we're going to need to see some sort of Templar Archive or Dark Shrine to get a little bit of AoE, at least with the Archons.
We did see a hallucinated Phoenix going to go ahead and fly into VaderSeven's base. He saw absolutely everything, saw the 3rd Command Center on the way, saw the medevac production has indeed started, as well as the double tech lab, more than likely going to start production of those Marauders.
Is that? Okay, for a second there, I thought it was 2 additional factories coming on
That
the
would
field.
be a really interesting switch.
Yeah, I was really confused for a second there, let me tell you. It is just going to be a couple of additional barracks coming out onto the field for VaderSeven. Factory going to be scouting out towards that 3rd base, and just going to see the probe running around there. Might want to take that out just kind of on general principle. First couple of medevacs just now coming out onto the map. No, okay, there, I was going to say no 3rd CC. There's the 3rd CC being built for VaderSeven, so his 3rd will be coming down fairly shortly. Pure taking his 3rd base as well, and for the most part, oddly enough, a very, very passive macro game for a PvT here. And
I think he heard
you. I think he, oh man, there he goes, moving out across the map. Those Marines, that's a lot of Marines. Stim pack is done. Combat Shield's going to be finishing up shortly. And it looks like this is going to be a little bit of a timing there from VaderSeven. I don't really think that he can do all that much damage with that, though.
He does have stim, and this is essentially the double medevac 1030 bio push. Pure has a decent little number of units on the field here.
Did
he just kill his own Marines?
What? What? I'm not exactly certain of the reasoning behind that one, but he killed 3 of his own Marines and forced himself out of Pure's 3rd base.
Sometimes you just gotta crush a few Marines. Sometimes you just gotta crush a few
Sometimes,
Marines.
you know what, even Terran sometimes gets a little upset with how Stim works, and they're like, man, I just need to kill off some of this DPS, I have way too much. It looks like VaderSeven going to just destroy that hallucinated Phoenix there. He really cannot push up into these Archons and into these charge slots. Guardian Shield, Force Shields, that is just doom right there. And there we go, now going to be taking out the rock that he destroyed. He's decided, it's kind of like the last game when we saw, Aegis revealing what he's doing, to spawn. VaderSeven wants to play a very nice mannered game, killed off some of his Marines from Pure there.
Yeah, making it just a little bit more possible for Pure to hold on. We get a little bit of a cheer from the crowd there. We do see this 3rd base from Pure is up and established. Here comes the Stim moving in here to attempt to snipe this Nexus. He gets a complete perfect Stim, gets in position. He will snipe that 3rd Nexus. Will lose a good chunk of his army to do that. But he's actually going to boost both those medevacs, flying them into the main base. There are charge lots ready to fight that, though, so he will be forced to go ahead and retreat to the right here. Back at VaderSeven's base, we do see he's been macroing decently all right. Got a ton of Marauders, a handful of Marines on the field as well. He's established a couple, or an engineering bay and an armory on the way, as well as those 2 additional barracks having add-ons. And the first engineering bay.
This 3rd base is getting dropped once again, but Pure is in position to defend against that. He really, that sucks that he lost his 3rd base. But I don't think it's like, a killer there. But if he lost that again, then he'd start really falling behind. He's going to be getting a Dark Shrine up and running. I don't really think I've seen that many missile turrets, and by that many, I mean there are
That's a lot of mules.
No missile turrets, and where are the... Oh my goodness,
and there's Zealots there to give him a nice hug. Unfortunately, going to go ahead and charge after that SCV and immediately die to a ton of Marauders there. Those Zealots aren't going to fall, but they did provide the scouting and the
Oh, a massive feedback on a medevac up in the main base of Pure there. Going to take out one fully loaded medevac.
Oh.
And that actually helps Pure out quite a bit. I mean, VaderSeven was starting to take a pretty nice supply lead there. Getting rid of that makes him a little bit safer too. He doesn't have to worry so much about drops. By the way, Storm has finished for Pure now, so he has a nice AoE potential there. And if he can engage in the right spots, he's going to be just fine. And if you look, Akalon Waste is really kind of a great map for Storm. I mean, you got these beautiful chokes in the middle of the map. You have some nice chokes over on the side of the map. I think Storm is actually a really good choice here. And 3 Dark Templar are being warped in at the front. 1 going up north to check out the 4th base. 1 coming right up the ramp here, going to be trying to take out this bunker here. Probably going to be able to do that unless it does get repaired or scanned. And we have 1 Dark Templar slowly whittling away at the rocks, going into that 3rd base.
There's just now enough energy for 1 scan. There it goes. Going to go ahead and kill that DT. Other DT going to go ahead and start smashing at those rocks there that VaderSeven did knock down on purpose this time. And hopefully going to go ahead and eventually stab his way through them. I mean, I love watching units shoot or stab rocks. Because Scan's going to go down and go ahead and kill that DT without too much of a deal at all. Simply because it's kind of weird to me watching just 1 Dark Templar or 1 Ghost or 1 Marine just sit there and just boom.
Yeah, just slowly wail away at the
I was making motions, but you can't see that right now.
Oh gosh. Ghost just now joined the field. I think that was a little bit late maybe for the Ghost to be joining the field.
Not too bad.
But the thing is that they're going to be coming out more than enough on time to be able to deal with the army of Pure. I was just about to make a comment about how he needs a little bit something extra in his army. The Ghosts are exactly what he wants. But he does need to start getting Vikings out on the field. That Robotics Bay just about finished up. Upgrade tab shows us that Pure is a little bit ahead. He's at 2-2 to the 1-1 currently of VaderSeven. We have 3 weapons on the way at least. And Sweeper tells you sound pretty interested in something.
Oh, it's just very interesting in the fact that there's a little bit of a mistake here out of Pure. If you look, okay, never mind, just now finishing up, gonna go ahead and fix that up. He had 3 probes just sort of chilling around the assimilator, staring at it. They were just enamored by the fact that there was a beautiful assimilator sitting there, ready for them to mine eventually.
It's a weird 4th base right here.
There's a factory floating over the
Yeah, he doesn't want to reveal it. I understand that, but this is really exposed, I feel, from Pure. I mean, especially with a bio army. Such a fast, capable army out of VaderSeven. This could just get sniped instantly before Pure could even react. That being said, I mean, I guess VaderSeven does have to scout that out. So for the moment, Pure going to be all right with that, but he just needs to keep an eye in that area. He does have this pylon in position and the Xenolog Watchtower, so maybe that's not as big of a deal as I originally thought. 4th base is on the field, by the way, the Planetary Fortress up on the field for VaderSeven. And he's just going to be kind of sitting back. He had a little bit of bank for a bit of time there, but now going to be getting a lot of ghosts out on the map. Moba's reactor just now being researched. And does he have 3-3 yet? No, he only has 2-1. So Pure has a very big upgrade advantage.
Yes, he certainly does. But you see VaderSeven going to start moving slowly forward on the map because he is about to hit max, as is Pure. We do see the Double Colossus production has gone ahead and tech switched. VaderSeven making a couple of Vikings I saw a moment ago as well. Just a couple on the field right now. Yeah, just 2 on the field right now. VaderSeven sharking around the map, looking for a base. Doesn't quite see it. Doesn't move far enough forward to scout that base, but he does take out that pylon there. At the attempted 4th. We do see a DT at the Planetary Fortress, but there's a missile turret there, so the Planetary Fortress deals with that with extreme prejudice.
Yes, he does. It looks like now VaderSeven going to be moving out across the map. A little problem for Vader is the fact that he, like you said, he only has 2 Vikings on the map, which means that he cannot really take out these Colossus. And there are 4 of them now, so this could definitely be a problem. However, no Stalkers on the field. There we go, going to be able to take that one out. Oh man, the EMPs are massive. He caught a lot of the sentries there, but I think that he missed one of the high Templars, so a little bit of storm left. This is not good for Pure. Should not be engaging here.
No, that was an awful engagement angle, losing most of everything, but luckily there was a fantastic storm going on over those Marauders, over that bio. A remacro of Zealot's going to go ahead and warp in as well. VaderSeven's army got completely ripped apart by those storms. A little bit of army left over for both players. 99 supply to 153, which means Pure is in just a little bit of a better position here, army-wise.
That was kind of interesting there by VaderSeven. I mean, he it almost looked like, like he got that great position. He went, like, yeah, took his hands off the keyboard and then just like forgot to dodge outside of the storms there. Took a lot of damage. It looks like those medevacs dancing in and out of that 3rd base area. Can't quite get there because we do have the Starks in position. Pure in a good position now in this game. Vikings getting their +1 weapons. No Vikings actually up in the air, though. And with 3 Colossus still left on the field, the one big thing from that last engagement is that he did not snipe very many of the Colossus. This could be kind of bad for VaderSeven, who is now going to be moving up to the north side, going for that main base, going to try to cut off some of this production capability. I don't know how much damage he's going to be able to do, though. There really isn't much in these medevacs.
Yeah, there's just a handful of units left over in this medevac. It does look like they will get stormed, actually, by that Templar. Could have feedbacked, went ahead and stormed what was left of the army, so we do have a grand total of 8-ish Marines left here, and a couple Colossus going to go ahead and show up. Oh, he does snipe the Robo Bay. That's a nice little hit there.
Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised he was able to get that. It looked like that wasn't going to do much there. So, I mean, that was definitely a nice little pickup there. But at this point, you got 5 Colossus. I almost wonder if it's time to start transitioning back to the Storm Templar now. We know that a lot of the Ghost died in the previous engagement, and we know that he's probably going to be making Vikings as a reaction to 5 Colossus, which, by the way, he still isn't making Vikings, actually. He's still just going to be producing the medevacs, which he does really need those medevacs, but, I mean, he kind of needs everything all at once here. And it looks like there's going to be a drop going towards that natural, that fourth base, the natural fourth base. You know, it's going to be fly right over. Oh, one medevac getting taken out, finding a better positioning here, but Pure knows that a lot of the army is up near this watchtower, and he's trying to send his army over there to deal with that. Just going to leave the fourth base for the moment and retreat behind the safety of those cannons.
Yeah, those cannons are going to go ahead and take out one Marauder there, which exploded.
There's actually a big engagement over at that watchtower on the north side of the map. There's actually a command center there, and this bio army going to get cleaned up by Pure. Pure running down the ramp, going to be able to take out the rest of the bio. In the meantime, his fourth is under a little bit of attack. Not a big deal with 3 Dark Templar there to defend against that. VaderSeven, he's starting to get a little bit of an army back, but Pure is now re-maxed. There are 6 Storm Templar on the field, 4 Dark Templar, and really not that much in the way of detection, only fall back on.
Yeah, a couple of those Dark Templar were warped in there at the bottom left base, able to clean up that drop that was sort of left chilling out alive. Proxy pylon, or aggressive pylon can be put there, but the army's going to deny that pretty intensely as we have a huge engagement here in the middle of the map. The Colossus is actually getting caught out alone, but because of the upgrade advantage, and there's a couple good storms as well, looks like the Colossus will be able to clean up what is left of that particular side of the map.
Oh, the dancing Colossus there. Oh, man. The GG, well played by VaderSeven. And that is going to end game number 1 of this best of 3 series, going to Impulse Pure.